Hi guys! I hope you watched our previous video of the 10 lessons we learned from filming season 1. And if you didn't, then go watch that first. But since we're starting up season 3 and it's going to be coming out very soon, I decided there's a lot more lessons that we learned from filming season 2, so I thought I would share. So here are 10 more lessons we learned from filming season 2 of our cooking show. Lesson 1. Post your videos on a consistent day. I feel like there's no real rule of what day works best or when you will get the most views, but the key is to just post consistently on that day of the week so that your audience will expect it. So for season 2, we intentionally chose to post it every Friday regardless of what was going on in our lives. We just made it happen. This is good not only for your audience's sake, but for your own, because that gives you more discipline and consistency within your week, which is good if you are your own boss. Lesson 2, plan out your shooting schedule way in advance. Joe actually encouraged me to look at our calendar months in advance and then try to think about which videos I would want to post. And in this case, I kind of considered almost like working at a magazine. You gotta know your schedule and you're almost working like months in advance before it's out. You can always be flexible with the actual recipe. You just kind of have an idea of what you want to shoot and when, and that will definitely help. Lesson 3, shoot videos according to major holidays and current events. Now in this situation for season 2, it landed right smack in the middle of all the major holidays. Our season premiere started out on a Halloween episode and it went on to Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day. The good thing about that was it was more searchable. So for instance, I made sure that I had my salmon and quinoa recipe out for New Year's. So that way it makes sense because then after the new year, people are looking up healthier, lighter recipes. And so I think that's what helped with their search. And it was exactly what people wanted at the time. Lesson 4, film in advance. For season 2, we made a new system of doing block filming. So you just film for like about 2 weeks and then you have a break for about 2 weeks and then the cycle continues. In the beginning, it's a lot more pressure on me. It gets tiring, prepping out all of those groceries, coming up with all the recipes in a short amount of time slot. It is harder, but at the same time, when you're done with all that, it's so much more relieving to just be able to have time to edit straight. The block filming in advance definitely helps. It helps you to be more organized and it helps you to have a break too. Lesson 5, know your audience. This does take time and you can find out who's watching your videos through the analytics. You might know your demographic, but you won't exactly know your target audience or who is exactly watching it and what they're enjoying about your videos and why. So I think throughout season 1, I still had no clue because it just kind of ran the gamut. We started the idea of doing themes for each season. So for season 2, it was cooking for 2 because it had a nice ring to it. And I think that alone attracted a certain type of people. The people who were watching our videos started leaving more comments and letting me know who they were. Some people were like, I'm a college student, I don't have that much money, I have to cook for my dorm room. Another would be, oh, I'm a newlywed and I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen, but your recipes are not intimidating and I can't wait to try them. And that's when I started to realize that I've been kind of speaking to a beginner cook this entire time without even knowing, because I would always leave in all my videos tips, techniques, substitutions, and suggestions, and people start to really resonate with that. Lesson 6, engage with your audience and recognize your super fans. I feel really stupid saying fans or super fans, it's just a terminology. But basically, I would be like, leave your suggestions below in the comments and people would. And so some of the recipe ideas from season 2 actually came out of comments that people left. It's important to have super fans, and those are the people that you start to recognize them by name, and I do. I know who they are, and I feel like we're this little family, that we're real friends even though we've never met in real life. And when you tag me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, I do see it, and I thank you so much for all your beautiful pictures. It makes me so happy. It's really good to know that when you put something out there, at least your core super fans, they might be few, but they'll be strong. And at least they will watch your videos, appreciate them, follow you in your journey. They're really important to your growth. Lesson 7, build up your library of videos. For season 1, I would say that we were a bit naive in thinking that as long as we have quality content, then the views will come. But the truth is, and we soon began to realize throughout season 2, no matter how good your videos are, no one's gonna watch them if they can't find them. And you know, YouTube land is so huge and there's so many videos that it's really nearly impossible to stand out right away. And so for season 1, we were a little discouraged that it seemed like people weren't watching our videos as much. Come season 2, people started finding us, and they were the ones who would leave comments saying, I just found your videos and now I'm binge watching your entire channel. And that felt so good to know, okay, not only are they watching this season, but they're going back and watching all of our previous videos that didn't have that many views before. So throughout season 2, we started pumping out the content pretty quickly, and I would say we were consistent. We were really good about pumping out a new episode every week. And it is hard to do that, but we know that it's just every step is just building up your library, and then there'll be more videos out there under your name that are searchable. Lesson 8, find partners and collaborators. Right before season 2, we ended up becoming part of the Tastemade network. So they're a community made up of people just like us. So they make food-based content, whether it's eating out and traveling or cooking shows like ours. Being a YouTuber can be very lonely because even when you try to explain, the hardships of it to your friends or your family, no one will really understand. It's kind of like what my friends explained to me as being a parent. It's really hard to understand unless you're going through it yourself. And in the future, I hope to do more collaborations with other people. I might engage an audience that I might never have known on my own if it wasn't for that collaboration, and vice versa. For instance, even though we didn't collaborate with this one YouTuber, Christine, she shouted us out in one of her videos as calling us one of her general favorites. I mean, it took us months and months just to even get the first 1,000 subscribers that we ever had. But then after she shouted us out, it only took us 2 days to gain the next 1,000 subscribers. So if you're actually here from Christine's channel, thank you so much for subscribing and sticking with us and just joining us in our journey. So I think that was really important lesson for us to learn, that collaborations mean everything. Lesson 9. If you're going to be a serious YouTuber, you can't rely on making money through ads alone. And I think this is specifically more for people like us who are trying to break into YouTube seriously. It takes a lot of hits to even make $1. I'm just being really honest with you because a lot of my friends and family wonder. You have to find different ways to make money. But around season 2 is exactly when it started to click. We're like, we need to keep doing this, but we also need to start making products, or we have to do brand endorsements or things like that. So for instance, that's why for season 1, we made a cookbook. So we'll leave a link for you down below where you could buy it here. You can click here. This is our Bits and Pieces Season 1 e-cookbook. It's available for sale to the public, and this is the kind of thing that we had to develop so that we can help support ourselves, and we're trying to come up with more products that we're going to sell, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you're one of our super fans, then please help us, sister, okay? Lesson 10. Stick with what works and be okay with getting rid of the things that are less successful. For instance, our ingredients boards that you see in all our videos, which has become our quote signature style, it's a lot of work, a lot of days for like a 20-second, 30-second clip. And to me, for a while, it almost felt like it was not worth it. But at the same time, it's something that is part of our video that makes it a little bit different, a little bit quirky. And so to get rid of that wouldn't necessarily be wise because that's something that's been consistent since season 1. In the beginning, I think we were so concerned and concentrating so hard on making sure that the storyline was there. So we drive ourselves nuts trying to get all this extra footage when we're out and about, when we're at the grocery store, when we're at some sort of event, just so that we could create this cohesive story for each episode. And then what happened was for season 2, we shot it all through the winter months of Chicago. It was so cold here, there was no way we were going outside. So it was just kind of hard for us to film this extra footage we needed. Since we couldn't do it, I ended up just telling stories just by telling stories, just from my childhood, from my past, or what's going on in our lives. So I didn't have to rely so much on all that extra little pomp and circumstance and all those little footage. So in that case, we were like, it's okay to not have to put in so much extra footage because that saved us time. Well, I hope you enjoyed these 10 lessons we learned from filming season 2. And we have a lot more lessons to learn, a lot more experimenting to go, and I hope that we have more wisdom to share with you after season 3. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, suggestions, comments, then leave them down below. So remember to push like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye!